does it feel to be back with this group?
Yeah, it feels great to be back. It feels great to get going again after a season, a long season that you feel like there was more out there for you. It's always good to get back and get back with the guys. Obviously, when you lose, when you don't make the playoffs or when you lose early in the playoffs, the off season is always too long. For me, it's always way too long, and you kind of start getting the itch to get back out on the field, and you can only do so much running and ball work on your own and with small groups and playing pickup with your buddies back home. It feels good to get back out on the field with a little bit of organization. Obviously seeing the guys again from last year, the mood's great, and I think we're all just looking forward to getting down to Florida where the weather's a little bit nicer. We can get off the turf.
I know Nelson has said to us that the roster's still incomplete and you have probably more additions.
Right.
How relevant is that to you guys to have kind of everybody in place in the preseason versus not having that maybe?
I mean, I think it's important for sure. I think you can look at it two ways. Yeah, it's great to have everyone that you're going to have going forward in preseason so you guys can get some continuity. Guys can get to know each other's tendencies. But I think you can also look at it like, when Basti came in. I mean, he didn't have a preseason with us. He came in 3 or 4 games into the season and didn't miss a beat. He made us better right away. And so if you're signing players of that quality and that caliber, I don't think it really matters if they have a preseason or not. Obviously for the coaches, I think it means a lot to get those guys in and get them up to speed on, your tactics and the way that you want to play and the different tendencies of teammates. But when you're bringing in players and if you're talking about high quality TAM, GAM, whatever DP level players, those are going to be really good players that are going to be able to come in and not really miss a beat. They're going to make your team better, obviously. So it's important, but I don't think there's, we still have, 6-7 weeks until, we really have to, start preparing for the first game of the season. And I trust the technical staff, completely. And like Nelson said, the roster is not complete. We know that. So we're hopeful of 1 or 2 more signings that are going to make that's going to make our team better, going to make the competition in our team even greater.
After the improvements of last year and obviously the increased expectation, do you think there's more pressure on the group and maybe senior players like yourself to maybe go and get some trophies this year?
I do, and I welcome that. I enjoy that. I think that if you're going to be in this business, you need to have pressure on you. If you're playing with no pressure on you, then you're probably playing to just scrape by and just to finish the season out. You probably haven't made the playoffs or whatever. So, I've made the playoffs a lot and a lot of times in a row, and so I'm used to having that pressure. And I think this team, really started to embrace that as the season went on. When you win, you get a lot more publicity. People talk about you. People write articles about you and are very complimentary, and that, you shouldn't rest on that. You should increase the expectation in the locker room, and I think it's increased. We've had a good season last year, and I think the mentality from the whole group is that we want to build off that and get even better. So while we had a good season, I harped on this at the end of last year, it was an incomplete season. I would say that it was an improvement from years past, but we didn't win any silverware, we didn't win any trophies, we didn't even win a playoff game. So you can't look at that season last year and say that it was a bona fide success. There's still ways to improve and get better, and we'll take, the good thing is you can take the experience from last year, how well we played and then how poorly we played kind of towards the end of the season, kind of limping into the playoffs, and you can use that as motivation and fuel to get better.
What are your first impressions of the new guys, John, Graham?
Yeah, we haven't, obviously we haven't been together very much. There's been maybe 2 organized training sessions, but my impressions of the new guys is that they're eager to come in and make a good impression. I think that Nelson and Pano and the whole coaching staff, they do their homework, and they want guys that not only are good soccer players but are good people and guys that have good character. Obviously, high quality human beings is the way that we like to put it here, and you can tell that those guys are quiet, humble kids. They're not coming in talking a lot. They want to keep their head down. They want to learn. They want to grow. They want to get better. So it was good. The first training session we had, I got a little kick from Mo Adams, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. I like young players, and I like rookies that have attitude and that have personality and that aren't afraid of supposed bigger guys or veteran guys. I really enjoy that. And so he apologized to me after that, and I was like, hey, don't worry about it, man. This is competition. I love it. I mean, it's fantastic. And so they've come in and they've made a good impression right away. Obviously, it's a long season, so you want them to pace themselves and, not burn out too quickly. But I think that we're going to have a lot of young players help us this year, just like we did last year.
Where did he kick you?
He was going for the ball. I'll give him that. He was going for the ball. He kind of got me from behind, and I fell over. So, questionable play. I'd say 75% of refs would probably call a foul. Maybe 20% would let it go because they don't like me, but that's okay. I don't mind.
Dax, you consider a leader in this team with all the experience that you have for these young kids, and you will be like the center point of teaching and leading them to whatever Pauno wants to improve this season?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, leadership is something that I've tried to embrace the past couple of seasons. I was captain in New York for a few seasons. Obviously, I was captain a little bit in certain games last year, and that's a role that it just kind of comes naturally. I enjoy, being vocal. I enjoy leading by example. Sometimes I don't always do it in the right way, but it's a constant learning experience. So with guys like me and Nico and Basti and Lucho, all the older veteran guys coming back, I think we've lost a little bit of experience and we've gained a little bit of youth. I think that's the trade-off that's happened so far this offseason. So for us veteran guys, us leaders, it's going to be incumbent upon us to make sure that we're setting a good example right away. So every day in training, having a good attitude, showing the younger guys how it's done. And that type of attitude is infectious in a locker room. So if your young players are having good seasons and your young players are stepping up and doing well, I think that's a good reflection of the leaders in the team and the coaching staff. So I'm going to continue to do what I've always done and try to be a good leader, but mainly lead by example and show the guys, kind of the ropes, so to speak.